So guys, good morning. We were doing audit of different types of entities. Do you remember towards the end we did a story? Who was there in the story? Arunesh and Shreya. Now listen. The story started from school, then they went to college, then they went to theatre cinema hall, then they went to restaurant, then they went to club, then they went to hotel, hospital and NGO. Now, if you look up to this five different entities, now tell me school or college, is it run by private organizations or social organizations? We will say both. But for exam, you will consider it as social organization, only social. That means for profit or not profit? Not profit. Only for exam, not in practical life. Okay, the theatre restaurant run by a private, for profit motive or non-profit motive? So for sure it is run by profit motive. Okay, who are the people who run this theatre, cinema hall, restaurant? Businessmen. So what kind of entity do I require? Can it be run by a proprietor? Theatre maybe not, but yes, restaurant, it can be run by a proprietor, right? Partnership firm? Private company? Public company? Okay, wherein school and college is run by, we'll say trust. It is run by trust. Okay? Now, theatre and restaurant, cinema hall will maybe run by a trust. No, it will not be run by trust. So it can be run by a proprietor or a partnership firm or a private company or a public company or maybe LLP also. Okay? Okay, now club. What do you mean by the word club? What is this club? Refreshments. Energy drinks, yes, you get energy drinks. Chas. Chai. So there are two kinds of club. One club is for the Vishwa and gang. It's just for the party. Potatoes. Now, the other club is gym club. Gymkhanas. So that's sports club basically, okay? So now, this club would be run by trust or private entities? Both. But here we will say it will be run by private entities. Okay? Now, when we talk about hotel, it will be run by private. It is not run by NGO. No hotel can be run by NGO. Hospital? Both, but for example, we'll assume that to be as a trust. Okay, and NGO is again trust. Okay. Now, in exam, out of these 8 entities, ICI can test you on any one entity. What you have to do? You have to do audit. So when we started with audit, the first chapter I took auditors. When we talk about auditors, we talk about only company auditors. So what is a company? So a company is an artificial person created by law, managed by natural persons called as directors, and it is always for a profit motive. Now in this chapter, there are few entities which are profit motive, which are not profit motive. Okay, would you like to learn 8 different answers or one common answer? Girls in the class, please talk to me. One common answer, because hard work is not our cup of tea. We believe in smart work, right? So rather than having 8 different answers, what we do is we do one common answer, okay? The code for the same is G, A, L, I, yes. The code for the same is galis. What do you mean the word galis? Huh? Swearing. Swearing in which language? Hindi, galis. Gali is basically bad word. You are abusing someone. Swearing. Slurring or swearing? Swearing is like I take promise, right? Oh, nice English. Which country? Bangladesh. Now, for G, we say it is general points. A, we talk about assets. L, liabilities. I, income and expenses. S, we will talk about special points. So when this question comes, it generally comes for 6 marks, okay, and you have to write approximately 15-16 points there. So it is galis. For G, we say it is general. A, assets. L, liabilities. I, income and expenses. S, special points. Once more, guys. G, general. A, assets. L, liabilities. I, income and expenses. S, special points. Now when you talk about general points, okay, now throughout all the 8 different entities, you will say, sir, check the constitution. We'll say check the constitution of entity. Now when I say check the constitution of entity, what do you mean by this word constitution of entity? Sir, if it is a company, what will you check? If it is a company, what will you check? If it is run by company, check. Maua, Aua. What is Maua, Aua? Memorandum of Association, Articles of Association. Okay. If it is run by a partnership firm, what do we check? Sir, we check partnership deed. Deed. Sir, if it is run by a trust, for example, if the question comes on school or college or hospital or NGO, if it is run by a trust, what do we check? Trust deed. What do we check? Trust deed. So accordingly what will happen is, I am just giving you the structure. You need to change the answer accordingly. What is asked in the exam? So we'll say the first point is check the constitution. That is, if it is run by a partnership firm, check the partnership deed. If it is run by a trust, check the trust deed. If it is run by a company, check the MOA or AOA. Number 2. Number 2 says evaluate the internal control. Evaluate the internal control system. It says evaluate the internal control system. Evaluate the internal control system. By any chance, does anyone know what does this mean, internal control system? AOA. What is AOA? Board of Directors. No. That's not. It's a system. Books of accounts, no. Standards operating procedure, but what are those standards operating procedure? How to control the flaws? Anyone else? Internal controls. Can you give example? You're right. You were also right, but I need an example for that. Where are you, madam? Yes, ma'am. Internal audit. It's a part. The way you do it's called as internal audit. But I need to understand what's the system. Someone said. Correct. Having biometric system for attendance. That's one of the examples. There's so many examples. In bank, when you go to bank, okay. when you enter a bank, there's always a watchman, okay, with the gun, which is non-operating. Now, he does frisking first, he checks with that metal detector, if you have seen that. Now, when you enter the bank, can you rob a bank? Yes? Please try, I am not with you. Can you rob a bank? Yes. Possible, sir. But 50-50. Let's try. You do it. So generally, normal people can't rob. Normally, you can't rob it. Okay. So why you can't rob? Because security is a system. CCTVs are there. Okay, and there are alarm alerts also. Now, if you have been to a locker of a bank, there's a locker. Now, when you enter the locker, there's a register. First, you need to give details of your register. I mean, yours. Details in that register, your name, your bank account number, your signature, your address, your phone number. Now, what happens is, there are two keys to the locker. One is with the customer, the client. The other one is with the banker, the branch manager basically. So, when you enter the locker, you have to insert your key. Then the manager or the authorized person will enter his key. When both the keys will turn, then only the locker will get open. So this is basically internal control system of a bank. So now what do you mean by the word internal control system? It's a system to detect and prevent frauds and errors. Now can you tell me, at home do we have internal control system? At home, your homes. Yes? Mummy is the most strongest internal control system. For example, there's a bottle which is written on shelf, okay? You from the shelf you pick it up and you keep it somewhere else. Your mom will know it. It is you who has done it. So if that fraud, if the error or fraud is happening, it is only your mom can detect it. That's basically internal control system. In the class, can you, for example, Bharat, where's Bharat? Absent, Bharat's not there. He's not well. Okay. For example, Vaibhav says, I want to watch match today on a projector. Okay. So IPL is going on, he wanted to watch the match. Can he take this projector from the class and install it at his home? Please answer correctly. We are on a recorded session. Sir is watching you all. Tell me. Yeah. Okay, you can rob a bank, but you can't rob a class. Yeah, because Vaibhav can. So why you can't rob this? Cameras are there? Cameras? There's no camera? Okay, only this camera is there. So can you rob it then? There's no camera, there's no security. Yeah. Okay, for example, Vishwa says, I want TV for my servant. So there are 3 TVs in the class. Anyways, balcony boys, they are not interested in studying. What is the use of that TV? So what he does is, he and his friends is taking that TV home. Can they take it? Are you allowed to take that TV home? You are not allowed, but can you take it? How you can take it? Please explain, everything is getting recorded. How can you take it? Get a screwdriver, remove the TV, cover it, put it in the bag. Sir, I am not saying all these people are saying. Now, for example, Anjana is fond of bottles. She loves bottles. She wants bottles. Can she take these bottles? No one will ever come to know. I am telling you, you don't have to do all this. It is all examples, okay? So, whenever there is a system, it is called as internal control system, which is used to prevent and detect frauds and errors. We'll be talking more about internal control system in a chapter when we have a chapter called as risk assessment and internal control system. We'll be doing there, okay? So, it says you have to evaluate the internal control system. Third, you will obtain certificates. You will obtain certificates from management. So now what are these certificates? Guys, who is responsible for preparing and presenting financial statement? Sir, management is responsible. So management has prepared that financial statement. They will first acknowledge it. So as an auditor, if you go and ask the management, have you prepared the FS? Have you prepared the FS? What will management say? Yes. Should you believe them? Never ever. Boys, today I'll tell you the most important secret of life. Understand. If she says I love you, don't believe. Don't ever believe. What? It's a trap. It's a trap. You are experienced, my boy. So what is to be done? Please tell her. Give it in writing. Same way if you are doing audit. Girls, it is applicable to you also. Okay. In case. But generally boys, when they say they believe it. You also. You also believe it. Okay. Now, shh. What did he say? Ole. Okay, now listen. So if management is saying that we have prepared the financial statement, don't believe them. Please tell them, give us in writing. So when they write on the paper, that's called as certificates. A certificate from management. In auditing language, we call it as written representations. Written representations. It's a proof, it's an evidence. Or you can call them as management representations. Management representation letter. So in practical life, we call them as MRL. Management representation letters. Okay. So first point says check the constitution of the entity. Number 2, you will say evaluate the internal control system. Then you will obtain certificates from the management. So certificate could be of wide range. It could be for example, they have acquired a subsidiary. You understand what subsidiary? So they have acquired subsidiary. So you went to the client. You know who's client? Who's the client? Company where you are auditing. So here you will not say company in this chapter. You will say organization. It could be school, college, theatre. Okay. So you went to the client and said, okay, sir, you have acquired subsidiary? They said, yes. Should you believe them? No. What should be done then? You take a certificate, you take a representation letter. Okay. So first 3 points you will write here. For assets and liabilities, I'll give you one more common answer. We'll write verify. Now what is this verify? Hold on. I am the teacher of the class. Let me teach. So there are assets, liabilities. So there's a common answer for both. Verify. Sir, for we will say the auditor should check the valuation. The auditor should check the valuation as per relevant AS. For every asset, there's an AS. There's an AS. For example, machinery. AS 10 PP, right? For example, if we talk about computer, AS 10. Computer, it's a fixed asset, right? Tangible fixed assets. So you don't know AS, right? Oh, you have not studied AS. So we'll be writing the name and number for our audit paper. You don't have to get into the deep knowledge. You just need to know the name and number. Stock. AS2. That's basically your inventories. Okay. So the auditor should check whether the valuation is done as per the relevant AS. In case of liability, you will just say the auditor has to check the valuation of the liabilities. What do you mean by the word valuation? Amount. You check the amount. Sir, you will check whether the asset is in perfect. It is in existence. You will check whether the asset is in existence. By conducting physical verification. Now, for example, if a company says or the organization says there is a computer we have purchased. So as an auditor for computer, what you will check? Sir, if they have purchased computer, what things you will check? Sir, they have purchased it. So there would be invoice. So we check the invoice. So on invoice, what will you check? Amount you will check. Date you will check. GST number, GST details you will check. Madam, you were saying something. Quantity. Number, how many computers you have purchased? Sorry? No, no, I'm talking about the invoice first. Invoice. For payment, it will not be written on invoice. How do we verify the payment? Bank statement. So you check the bank statements. Okay, on invoice, there would be date, serial number, number, GST details, quantity, the type of asset. Okay. Now when the payment is made, you have to check the bank statements. Now, this is a bill, but as an asset, there would be physical asset also. So as an auditor, see, primary responsibility is always of the management. Secondary responsibilities of the auditor. So you go to the client place and check whether it's a computer or not a computer. So it's called physical verification. So you have to check whether the asset is in existence. Now, for example, data. Are data your asset? Yes or no? So now when this point comes for data, check the asset, check the data is in existence. So you can't go and touch them. Right? Hi data. So what to be done? You can't go, see, it's a physical verification. So you physically verify, right? You touch him everywhere. You can't touch the data. Perfect. Sir, you will check, you will obtain confirmations. So you will speak to the data. Hi bro, how are you? What's up? How's everything at home? My client says you are the data. Are you the data? Will you be my data or creditor? So you try to speak to them. That's speaking what is called as confirmations. So for debtor or for liability side creditor, you will obtain confirmations. So the point is same. V it is valuation. E it is existence. Now, R. Check whether the asset is the right of the company. Check whether the asset is the right of the company. Right of the company. What do you mean by the word right, guys? Ownership. So how do you check the ownership? By not exact. See, immovable property has a title deed, but movable property? Invoices. What are the other synonyms for invoices? Vouchers, bills, agreements, contracts. So basically you check the right of the company by evaluating documentary evidence. Don't write, I'll give you time to write, I'll be dictating the answer. You check the documentary evidence. Okay? Now, if asset is your right, what is your liability? Obligation. So you check whether the liability is an actual obligation of the entity. I. Check is there any charge on the asset? Check is there any charge? Is there any charge on the asset? Now what do you mean by the word charge? Depreciation. It has been given to the bank as collateral. So now, for example, I have a BMW, okay? So I have a black color BMW. You are insulating me. She is saying it is an hypothetical example. See, I look like beggar, but I own a BMW. Yeah? No, I actually own it. They are saying no. Okay. Now, so documentary evidence you want. Okay, you are auditing me now. Now listen. So for example, I wanted loan. So I went to the bank. So first when I went to the bank, so bank threw me. He left dogs on me. I said, sir, please give me loan. He asked, sir, what collateral you can give? So I told him, I'll give you my car, my BMW. So I lift my BMW and I'll give it to bank. Will I lift my BMW? Why? Driving to the bank and then what you are giving? The key. You have studied this in your foundation, right? What delivery this is called as? Symbolic delivery. Now, if I have given the key to the bank, if I want to sell and bank has given me loan, if I want to sell that BMW to, for example, to Vinayak, can I sell it? Why? Because bank has a charge over it. You understand what's charge now? So on the asset, when company takes a loan, they give as a collateral to the bank. So bank has charge over it. So you can't sell it. So those charge have to be disclosed in the balance sheet. I'll just show you how the presentation look like. You must have done this in your foundation or maybe on 12th. For example, it's a motor car here. For example, 2 lakh rupees. So here in the bracket you must have seen it is secured against SBI loan, maybe SBI loan. Okay, on the liability side, when there's an SBI loan, okay, maybe like 1,50,000. So here it will be secured by motor car. Have you seen this? Yes. Anytime in balance sheet? No? No? This is schedule 3 presentation. So when you're doing your accounts one, you'll be taught this. Okay, whenever there's a charge on the asset, it has to be disclosed. Okay. Also, this thing has to be registered with ROC. Who's ROC? Registrar of companies. Registrar. So I'll say one line. I hope you understand that. The registrar of companies registers the company in the register of companies. Overrides. For few it is fixed, for few it is variable, others semi-variable. The registrar of companies register the company in the register of companies. Understood? So registrar of company is a person who registered the companies in a book which is called as register of companies. Okay? So is there any charge on the asset? If yes, it should be disclosed. Like what I just taught you, the presentation requirement. Okay. Also, it should be registered with ROC. Also, it should be registered with ROC. In liability side, this point will not be there. Okay. F. Check. Schedule 3. You know what is Schedule 3? The format of balance sheet PL. Okay. Check whether Schedule 3 is followed or not. Check whether Schedule 3 is followed or not. So for example, how do you show debtors in balance sheet? Under current assets, okay. The heading would be called as Sundari. Sundari, no Sundari. Sundari liability. No, we don't call them as Sundari debtors. Trade receivables. We call them as trade receivables. And then you show the breakup there. Outstanding for more than 6 months and others. Have you seen this? No? So you'll be taught this in when you do balance sheet. It says, so under current assets, it's trade receivables. Under trade receivables, it is outstanding for more than 6 months and others. So these are presentation requirement of debtor. So every line item, I mean on the asset or the liability side, had a presentation requirement as per Schedule 3. Now for example, machinery or computer. How do you show? So it's non-current assets, tangible assets, fixed asset, and then there is a machinery. So you show it as a gross value, gross value. Then it's PFD. What is PFD? Provision for depreciation. And then you show the net block. You know what is gross block, net block? I'm talking English. So those are presentation requirements. We don't have to do it right now. In a different chapter, I'll be teaching you the presentation requirements. Okay. Last point is check for frauds. Check for frauds. Check for frauds. So here also the same point, here also same point. So it's a common answer for asset or liability. So what is from V? V. Valuation as per relevant AS. In liability also valuation. E. Existence. Here confirmation. R. Asset is the right of the company. Liability is the actual obligation of the company. I. Is there any charge on the asset? If yes, it should be disclosed. Also, it should be registered with ROC. F. Schedule 3 followed or not. Okay, here also the same point. Why? Yo, check for frauds. Check for frauds. So it's a common answer. How we will be using that answer I'll be teaching in the next part. Right now what we're just making a structure of the answer. Okay. So G was general, A was asset, L was liability. Now we talk about income and expenses. So if the question is on income or expenses, you write there vouch. Check the perfect. Check the vouchers like dot 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 and dot. Check the vouchers like dot dot dot. Now for example the question is on rental expenses. Rental expenses. So I will write check the vouchers like. Tell me girls. I said tell the girl. Please check the gender if you have a problem. Here only, outside. Check the vouchers like dot 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 dot. So for rental expenses, what will be the voucher, guys? Sir, there would be rent agreement. So you will check rent agreement. So now if you have made payment, there would be. So check the bank statement. So when you make the payment, the opposite party will give you a receipt. So check the rent receipt. Now, for example, same way it's a rental income question. So the point will remain the same. If it is electricity expenses or telephone expenses, maybe any revenue expenses, bills. What are the synonyms for bill? Check the bills, check the invoices, check the vouchers, also check the payment. That is for payment, we'll check bank statement. Okay, if the question is on dividend income, dividend. So what would be the voucher like? Dividend income. So you check the bank statement because the dividend would be received in bank. And more? Share certificate. Why we check share certificate? So how many shares would be there? And on that you will receive the dividend? Okay, and more? Do you know what is demat? So all the shares are in it's an account, in a demat account, right? So you check demat ledger. So because demat ledger. You check the demat ledger. That's basically demat account statement basically. So how many shares are there, what company it is, on what date you purchase, on what day the dividend was declared, you check all those. So accordingly you have to change the answer. So you check the vouchers like dot dot dot. O. Check. It has occurred over the current period of time. It has occurred over the current period of time. See, all the transaction has to be of the current year only. So if there is a prior period item, it is already always bifurcated in the balance sheet. So as an order, you check whether transaction has occurred over the current period of time. You check. It is approved under competent authority. Check it is approved under competent authority. So for any expenses, So for example, if you want to buy a phone. So can you go and buy the phone directly? Where will the money come from? Parents. You need to speak to them, right? You can't directly go and buy. You require approval. Whose approval? Generally, boys, whose approval we require? Mummy? Father, Papa. But you can't directly go to Papa. Right? You go to Mummy. Mummy. Phone. Okay, then Mummy will go to. No chappal. Father ko chappal nahi rahe. So Mummy will go directly to father. AG. OG. So Mummy will not request. Mummy will give order to Papa. Okay, girls, if you want phone, Dad directly. So you go directly to Daddy. So that's basically authority. Same way in a company, if there has to be any expense, it always have to be approved by an authority. For example, expenses up to rupees 10,000. will be approved by Mr. A. Above 10,000 till 1 lakh may be approved by B. So if there's a voucher which auditor has got it, for example any expense voucher, so auditor check whether it is approved under competent authority. In exam, if there's a question on any income, this point will not be there. See, this is the key which is made by me for you people. It's not ICI made key. So you can modify the answer accordingly. So please use smartness. Only for expenses you will write this point. C. Check. Proper. Distinguish. Is made between. Oh, smart here. Between capital or revenue, expenses or income, receipts or income. So check whether proper distinguish is made between capital or revenue, expenses or income. For example, if I say machinery purchased, see, you don't have to say check whether it is booked as capital. You have to say proper distinguish is made between capital or revenue, expenses. Okay. Subsidy received from the government. Subsidy received from the government. What it will be? Capital receipts. Capital receipts. Okay. When I talk about salaries or wages. Revenue expenses. Okay. Next point, check. It has been recorded in BUA. Does every transaction of the company has to be recorded in BUA? Yes, sir. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So check all the transactions have been recorded in BUA. So you write 5 points. So V, it is vouchers. O, over the current period of time. U, under competent authority. C, capital revenue expenditure or income. H, has been recorded in books of accounts. Has been recorded in books of accounts. So it's a common answer now. So for income and expenses, I write the word here as vouch. Now when we talk about special points. So special point is your utmost knowledge, whatever you have. So right from nursery, what do you call as the first year of school in? Kindergarten, yeah, kindergarten. So we call as nursery there. Nursery. You also nursery? Okay. So right from there till today, whatever knowledge you have learnt about NPOs, you can write here. Check. There is a earmarked investment for earmarked funds. Anyone know what it is? Particular purpose. You had an NPO in your 12th standard? Yes, sir. In foundation also you must be having it? Obviously it will be in accounts. What Vinayak today? What has happened to you? Any doubt? You want to check? No. Now earmark investments for earmark funds. In balance sheet in NPO you must have seen there is a specific fund on the liability side. And the same thing is there on the asset side also. Like tournament fund on liability also, tournament fund on the asset also. Few teachers, present it that way. But few teachers should as a reducing the balance by adjusting it. Building fund. You must have heard this. See, I know. Bartley. Bottle. What are you drinking there? No, it's not chai time. It's potato juice time. So check there is earmark investment for earmark funds. Check the corpus. Check the corpus. No, it's corpus. Corpus. No. Anyone? Corpus? Capital fund. So in balance sheet, in normal companies we show it as a share capital. And then you add reserves. Okay, and you minus the reserves, right, if there is a negative balance. But in NPO, on the balance sheet, the first head on the liability side, it's capital fund. So you, whatever is the surplus, you add to that. Whatever is the deficit, you reduce it. You know? We don't call it profit or loss because surplus and deficit. So that capital fund is basically your corpus fund. So the auditor has to check the corpus fund. Any other point, whatever your heart says you want to write, you can write. So if I count the number of pointers, so 3 is in general, 6 is in asset, that's 9, maybe 4 in liabilities, 13, plus 5 in income expenses, 18, plus 2 here, 20 points. On 20, it's a 6 mark or a 4 mark question. Maybe 18 you will remember, 15 you can write, out of which 12 will be right. You will attempt a 6 mark question, maybe teacher can give you 4 right. So at least 20 you need to remember. Understood? So it's a common answer. Let's do it again. G it is A, L, I, income and expenses, S, special points. Okay, for assets and liability we did a code called as verify. Let's do it. V, valuation, E, existence, R, rights of the entity, and in the liability it is obligation. I, is any charge? If yes, it should be registered with ROC. FF, schedule 3 followed. Yo, check for frauds. Okay, now when you talk about income and expenses, vouch. V, you check the vouchers. O, over the current period of time. U, under competent authority. C, distinguish between capital or revenue, expenses or receipts. H, has been recorded in books of accounts. And then 2 special points. Understood? Now, I will need your help because now we will be framing the answer. We have just learned the structure. How to use this answer in specific entities, we'll be doing it right now. Okay? Don't write, I'll be giving time to write. Why are you writing? Don't write. Now see, please don't know chorus answer, please raise your hand, okay? So for general, I would say the 3 points are common throughout, all 8. Okay, it's common. Now first, let's talk about assets and liabilities, okay? Assets and liabilities. Guys, for school and college, what would be your asset and liabilities? No chorus answer, raise your hand, please. Didi, you understand? Anna, no sorry, Akka, right? Akka. Someone else from behind. Yes, madam. Benches. Hey, one second. Benches is what? Yes, madam. Just say the word. Obviously, it will be owned. Buildings, okay. Anyone else? Sorry? Van, vehicle. Okay, van. Yeah, tell me. Computers. Sorry? Like? Fan. Tube lights. People calling their names. Anjana, any asset? Students. And teacher? Liability. Principal, contingent liability. Yes, madam. Goodwill is asset. Unpaid student. Fees receivable would be your asset. Unpaid students can't be an asset. Fees receivable is your asset. Any more assets? Books, teachers, female teachers. See, rather than saying benches, board, we use a sophisticated word. Furniture, fixtures. Furniture, fixtures, okay? Building. Lab equipments, lab equipments. Machinery. Once again. Shh. Can you just explain me, what machine do you have in school? In my school, there were no machines. Xerox machine. Hey, shh, she's saying something. Smart she is. See, you have furniture, fixtures, land, building, premises, lab equipment, gym equipment, sports equipment, musical instruments. All those are assets. Books is your asset. Okay. So when I write the answer, how to use these assets. See, we are discussing because we will be using it in the answer. The auditor should check the valuation of assets like furniture fixtures, land building, computer, etc. No machines as per relevant AS. You know what was the first point? What's the first point of verifier? Valuation. So you use those assets in the answer. Understood how to do it? Okay, now let's discuss about liabilities. Liabilities. Outstanding staff salary. I would say all outstanding expenses. All, yes madam, you want to say something? Loans, if there are any loans taken by school or colleges. Advance fees. No, advance fees. Arrears of rent you're saying, right? So I would say not arrears, though that's outstanding only we discuss. We can say arrears of government dues also. Maybe some taxes are to be paid. Duties and taxes. Oh. Oh. Now, loans is a liability. All outstanding expenses like outstanding rent, salaries, all the revenue expenses to some creditors, maybe to from printers, or it will be your liability. One liability would be refundable deposit. I don't know whether in your time there were refundable deposit or no. No, donation is the income of the school college. For you, donation was definitely required. Wherever you go, it will be, donation is mandatory. Because someone is taking you, they have to bear you. So, previously, I mean, if I talk about 20 years back, now also it is there? Oh. So, there is refundable deposit. So, one is donation. Like for example, if you want your child to be admitted in a school or a college, you give them 5 lakh rupees. That's a donation. That's completely non-refundable. But in some schools, some colleges, they take refundable deposits. So, once you take the exit from the school, whenever you are taking it, that amount of deposit would be refundable. So, from the perspective of school or college, it will be asset or liability? Liability, okay? So, the auditor should check the valuation of liabilities like ... Okay, you can use 1 or 2. Now, for theatre, projector, seats, screen, food court. Once again, there is saying food court. See, when you talk about land and building, food court is inside that only. So, as per you, then we should say restroom also, male restroom, female restroom. Yes, madam. Once again. Film. Screen, the film. Sorry? ACs. Rollers. That's film only. And that's a roller. Popcorn machines. You can say kitchen equipments. Please use sophisticated words. Okay, stock of food items like popcorn. Sandwich, no, breads. Out of bread we make sandwich. Beverages. So we have a lot of stock of food items. Theatre, the land, building, ACs, screen, seat cover is also an asset. Speaker, computer, lights, torch. Asset, okay? Don't write torch in the exam. Then you will be shown a torch towards Himalaya forever. Okay, liability for theatre, cinema, liability. Same as school, college. Loan, all the outstanding expenses, salary, rent, creditors payment. Leasehold property is what? Asset, liability. If it is lease rental payable, so that becomes a liability. If it is a lease rent receivable, for example, we'll be doing it in income part. I'll be teaching that in income part. Let's talk about first restaurant, asset and liabilities. Rest, everything is same. Land, building, premises, air conditioner, computer, all these are same throughout. Talk about specific asset of restaurant. Yes, madam. Kitchen appliances, refrigerators. That's kitchen appliances only. That's common. That's common. Specific. Cutlery. Cutlery, the crockery. You don't say utensils. Utensils is at our home. You say crockery. Shh. Stock of food items and stock of liquor. Stock of food items and stock of liquor. Shh. Kilab. Liquor. Stock of liquor. Rest everything is common. Land, building, premises, computer, furniture, fixtures, AC. DJ console. DJ is not a set, DJ console we are talking about. Lights, sound system, music system. Okay, and then stock of food and liquor. What? So we can write sports club also, whatever you want to assume. Gym equipments, sports equipments. You don't have to give like bat ball. Bat ball is a gym equipment. Which club do you go? Okay, hotel. Oh, very, very important, very interesting. Beds, rooms, couch. Girls, please speak, please. What are the assets of hotel? I am unable to hear anything. Please raise your hand. Camera? CCTV. No camera in the hotel. I am staying in the hotel now. Now listen. Swimming pool is an asset. Then water is also an asset. The chlorine, it is also an asset. See, land, building, premises. Swimming pool comes in that only, right? It is not separately. It is a part of land, building, premises. Location is the asset. You are a liability on this planet. See, land, building, premises, furniture, fixtures are common. I need specific asset of hotel. Telephone. Then TV remote, AC remote. Goodwill is one. Vehicles. Vehicles is the asset. Then kitchen equipments is the asset in the hotel. Sorry? Floor cleaning equipments. You do part-time job in the hotel, right? Then toilet cleaning equipment is also hotel. Now listen. Shh. So you have vehicle here, goodwill here, stock of food items. Okay? Stock of liquor also is an asset for the hotel. Lift. Then the button in the lift is also asset. Oh, hospital asset. Nurse. Okay. Medical equipments. Stock of medicines, syringes, ambulance is an asset. Liabilities common. Same liabilities. Yes, sir. Beds. When we say the word furniture, fixtures, everything come in there. Then bed, then you have linen, then pillow. Okay, shh. Asset for NGO is same. Furniture, fixtures, land, building, premises, computer, AC, it's same. Liability is also same. So the idea was to discuss in this class to use these specific assets when you're framing the answer. The auditor should check the evaluation of asset like ... So respective you know one or two asset, please write that. For example, in hospital, don't write liquor stock. Okay? Stock of medicines or you can say medical equipments. Okay? Don't write medical equipments in club. So accordingly you have to use your brains, if any. Then, let's talk about income and expenses. Hold on. Please answer like humans. Huh? For school, college, what are your income? Fees. Hold on. We have varieties of fees. School fee, bus fee, term fee, admin fee. Then you have news, library fees, hostel fee, food fee, infrastructure fee, exam fee, revaluation fee, after exam fee, books fee, uniform fee, ID card fee, fines, penalties. Okay, lot of fees are there. Do one thing, you come here. Why are you yelling at me? So this is your normal voice. I pity the guy. He will be scared 24/7. You are talking or you are yelling. Now, expenses for school and college. Expenses. P&L debit side. Salary, rental, electricity, telephone. Sundri. Sundri. Any Sundri expense? Sorry? Interest on loans. So it's basically the common P&L debit side. Okay, common answer, common points. Okay, for theatre, income. Popcorn. Sale of tickets. Parking fees. Advertisement. I don't know whether you have seen Mukesh. Mukesh. Arey, tobacco. The Mukesh guy, advertisement. And then Vico turmeric ad. So all those are advertisement income. Okay, then income from special screening. So like when the movie get released, the one day prior it is screened at a high price in that theatre. Okay, so generally movies get released on Friday. And on Thursday, the previous night, it is premiered. So it is at a high price. So income from premiering the shows. Okay. Expenses again, penal debit side, it's a common expense. For restaurant, income, sale of food articles plus income from parties, special events like birthday parties, anniversaries, marriage ceremonies, events. Okay. Generally, restaurant does not charge parking. If they outsource it, so that's not their income. It's who handles the parking. It's their income, no? I discussed that. Catering, that's functions only. Shh. Club, income from club. Membership fees, subscription fees, entry tickets. Okay, events, income from events like Holi party, Diwali party. All those are special events. Okay, and the expenses is penal debit side. My favorite. Income for hotel. We call it as huh? What rights? I don't know what these guys are talking about. Here you say income from room rent. Income from room rent. Here you say income from bed rent. Don't swap it. It's way different. Okay, people who come in hotel are not called as customers. They are called as guests. Don't use this guest here. Here people are called as patients. Okay? Customer is a wrong word to be used in class. Okay? Because customers are somewhere else. For example, post 4 years, 5 years will become chartered accountant. No. After 3 years will become chartered accountant. And when you say to your parents or mom, okay, mom, I'm going hotel to meet a customer. So boys must be knowing it looks very wrong actually. It says, we say client, okay? Customer is somewhere else. You understand what I'm trying to say? Boy, no? So boys, how do you tell that in Tamil? Okay, so here in hotel we have guest, no customer, no. And in hospital we have patients. So income from room rent, income from bed rent. In hotel, in hotel you have income in other ways also. Income from restaurant, income from other facilities like travel desk. Gym is complimentary basically. Spa, 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 spa. Okay. Spa is basically massage. Massage, massage. Okay. Shh. Hospital mein there's no massage. Okay, income from bed rent, income from facilities like theaters, not theater, operation theater. Income from special treatments like surgeries, sale of medicine, renting also. Hospital has ATM in the hospital, okay? Plus they and same thing in a hotel also there's ATM. Big hotels have ATMs inside the hotel. So what they do is they outsource it on, I mean they put it on rent towards a bank. So it's an income from them. So it's income from renting of premises. Okay, in hotel you will say income from special events like birthday parties, anniversaries, marriage ceremonies. In hospital all those never happens, okay? Canteen, yeah, canteen facilities you can have, income from canteen. NGO, the income is common, donation, subscription, okay? Here, there would be special income which will be called as sale of articles. Sale of articles. For example, being human. You know what's being human? Being human. It's a Salman Khan's brand, okay? It's an NGO. So they sell articles. Like cycles are there, t-shirts are there, watches are there, jeans is there. All merchandises, okay? Do you know what is CRY? Child Relief Youth. It's an NGO. So they sell greeting cards. When you go to Archie's, you will find CRY greeting cards. Okay, so the NGO, when they're selling, it's an income for them. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me, for school or college, what would be the special income? Special income. Fees, fines, all those are general because we have formed school, so definitely we'll be having all those. No, not donation. School does not have a sponsorship. Subsidy, you can say. Subsidy, use the words. School gives sponsorship to the student. So if you want to, it's not given in the book. So I would say don't try that. Subsidies is one word. Number two, income from renting of premises. In school and college, if there's a ground or a banquet, maybe or an auditorium, so they give it in off-season time as a rent. So in our books they have written, in the module they have written, income from renting of premises is an income for school, college. Theatre, I told you, advertisement is a special income. In Mukesh. Okay. For restaurant, club, it's income from birthday parties, renting of premises, ceremonies. Okay. For hotel also, same. Here you will add corporate seminars. Income from seminars. For hospital, income from special treatments. For example, in Bombay, there is a hospital called as Asian Heart. So the Asian Heart Hospital is very famous in India for heart surgeries. So now what happens is the doctors of Asian Heart will travel pan-India. So for example, in Delhi, there's a requirement of a heart surgeon. So the doctor from Asian Heart will go and treat it. So whatever the income they are getting, it's not of the doctor, because doctor is on salary basis. It is the income for the hospital. So income from special treatments. Okay, NGO, the donation subscription is a normal income. Sale of article is a special income. Understood? So it's a common answer. It's a 4-mark, 6-mark answer. You just have to write Galis. So accommodation is basically renting of premises only, right? So but I have formed a hotel for staying only, right? So my object was the same. But they are not personally booking it. It's booked by the agent. So it's a part of it. So you write as a common point only, okay? Follow. G, it is general. A, assets. L, I, S, special concept. Understood this much? Okay? 40% of the chapter is over. 40% of the chapter is over. So you will see these 8 entities, they have given more than 20-30 points in every entity. So rather than studying all the points, it's better you use common points. First open your notebook, we'll write, then we'll continue. Open your notebook. So after Caro, please give the heading as Audit of, the chapter heading, Audit of Different Types of Entities. Audit of different type of entities. Audit of different type of entities. Then, in that, make as first point, common answer for school, comma, COMMA. I said comma. School, comma, college. Don't write COMMA, it's the spelling for comma. School, comma, college, comma, theater, comma, cinema hall, HALL. Then restaurant, comma, restaurant, comma, club, comma, hotel, comma, hospital, and comma, NGO. Wrote. So this is your common answer. What you have to do is now, do one thing. Below that, first write G, general points. G, general points. Now, below general points, write the first point. The auditor, below general you have to write, the auditor has to check the constitution. The auditor has to check the constitution of the entity. The auditor has to check the constitution of the entity, that is, if it is run by partnership firm, check partnership deed. Check partnership deed, comma, if it is run by company, check memorandum of association / articles of association. Memorandum of association / articles of association, comma, we wrote partnership form right before that? Okay. Now trust. If it is run by a trust, check the trust deed. Check the trust deed. Full stop. Now, next point in G only, number 2, evaluate the internal control, system. Point number 2 we are writing, evaluate the internal control system, in bracket write ICS. So we'll be using the word ICS now throughout. Evaluate the internal control system of the entity. Third point, obtain certificates from the management, like loan confirmation certificate, loan confirmation certificate, loan confirmation certificate, loan, LOAN, comma, turnover certificate, etc. Or basic auditors first, the directors will sign and then the auditor signs it. Okay. Now, give the next main heading as A, assets. A, assets. Write the dash, verify, assets, and then write on the same line VERIFY, on the same line, okay, verify. Okay. Now, below assets, you will use like this, verify. First point, V. Check the valuation. V. Check the valuation is as per relevant AS. It is as per relevant AS. Now, E. Check the asset. Check the asset is in existence. Check the asset is in existence by conducting physical verification. By conducting physical verification. Okay. Then next R. Check the asset is the right of the company. Check the asset is the right of the company by checking documentary evidence. I. Check is there any charge. Check is there any charge on the asset. Check is there any charge, CHARGE, charge on the asset, full stop. Continue on the same line. If yes, it should be disclosed. It should be disclosed. Full stop. Also, it should be registered with ROC. Also, it should be registered with ROC. Then F. Check whether Schedule 3 requirements. Check whether Schedule 3 requirements are followed. check whether schedule requirements are followed. Then Y, U, check, the auditor should check for frauds, comma, if any. The auditor should check for frauds, comma, if any. Now, L, write their liabilities. See, you will use verify only. V is the same point. In E, you will see you will obtain confirmation. Asset was right, so liability will be obligation. I point will not come, F and Y. Okay? Please write like this in your notes. You understood what I wrote this? For existence, you can't check creditors, right? You can't check the liability. You will obtain confirmation. So accordingly, we'll say the auditor should check the existence of the liability by confirming with the creditors or the bankers. The auditor should check whether the liability is an actual obligation of the entity. Confirming with third parties. Now, I, next point is your I, income and expenses. Next point, I, income and expenses, dash, vouch, dash, vouch. And then below that, you will write VOUCH. H. VOUCH. Right. V. Check the vouchers like. Check the vouchers like. Check the vouchers like. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, dot, dot. O. Check it has occurred over the current period of time. Check it has occurred over the current period of time. U. Check it is approved. Check it is approved under competent authority. Check it is approved under competent authority. Then C. Check proper distinguish is made between capital or revenue, expenses or receipts. Expenses or receipts. Capital or revenue, expenses or receipts. Next point. H. Check it has been recorded in books of accounts. Check it has been recorded in books of accounts. Full stop. Now, next main heading, special points. S, special points. Right there. Check if there is any earmarked ear space marked investment for earmarked funds. Earmarked investments for earmarked funds. Then next below that, particular fund, tournament fund, liability side also, tournament fund you see on assets also. So we create a specific liability for a specific asset. So that particular thing is shown in the balance sheet of both the sides. Tournament fund, building fund. Next point. The auditors, check the corpus fund. Check the corpus fund if any. But in other entities, it will not be there. Check the corpus fund if any. Next point. Check income from special events. And corresponding expenses. Answer is over. So this is your common answer. Cool? Yes, sir. See, what happens is, in NPO, this is your income and expenditure account. If you get this side figure, it's your surplus. This is your deficit. Now, in your statement of affairs, you create a capital fund, assuming 100 rupee. So if there is a surplus, you add this, assuming 10. Or if it's a deficit, you subtract it. Whatever the answer comes, this is your corpus. It's basically, in company we say share capital. In NPO we say it's a corpus. Okay? Done? Okay. Now listen, whatever we are discussing now, you know all the answers, huh? You know. Here, the chapter is bifurcated into two. One is different entities, what we did right now. The answer is Galis. Okay? Now, the other would be government entities. Now, in a government entity, when you talk about, we call them as PSU. What's PSU? Public sector undertakings. Okay, yeah, units you can say. There are three kinds of entity. One is government company. Other one is government corporation. The third one is government department. Now, when you talk about government company, how much is the percentage? Sir, 51% is held by CG, SG or both. Okay? Can you give me example of government company? BAIL, GAIL, SAIL. Previously also I told ONGC is not a company. If it is a company, it has to end with the word limited. Sir, government corporation. So 40%, minimum 40% is held by CG, SG, both. Give me examples. BSL is a company. ONGC, LIC, IRCBC. Huh? I know. What is NLC? Yeah, it's same. Yes, it's a government corporation. Government department, it is owned by government. Give me example of government department. Sir, income tax department. Indian Railways. Custom department. Postal department. ROC, lot of departments are there, etc. Now, so whether it's a government company, guys, whether it's a government company, whether it's a government corporation, whether it's a government department, its audit would be conducted by one super genius person. It will be conducted by CAG. So the auditor will be appointed by CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Okay? Now, let's take one by one. When you talk about government company, guys, you know it, government company. There were two kinds of auditor we studied. First auditor, subsequent auditor. Okay, first auditor, you know it, guys, is appointed by within of registration. Okay, if CAG fails, board within 30 days. Okay, then board fails. At he is the auditor till first AGM. When I talk about subsequent auditor, Sir, who will appoint? CAG. Within 180 days of commencement of financial year. He will be the auditor till next AGM. Hey, have you studied all this? Yes, sir. Great, we have studied all this, okay? Now, this is government company. Now, in government company, CAG has a right to conduct, if you know the answer, supplementary audit and test audit. Have you studied this concept? The same concept is getting repeated. Sir, supplementary audit is one extra audit, re-audit, again audit. Now, in case of supplementary audit, CAG can either ask the statutory auditor or any other CA plus COP to conduct supplementary audit. Okay, we studied something called as, in case of supplementary, if he wants to go for supplementary audit, CAG has to take the call within dash days. Sir, CAG has to decide within 60 days whether to conduct supplementary audit or not. Okay. Now my question was, we have discussed this also. If a member or his legal rep wants a report, wants the report copy, wants the copy of the report, can they obtain? Yes, Yes or no? We have done all this. Where we have done this? Auditors chapter. Exactly same answer, okay? We are just revising it here. Now, when I talk about government corporation, sir, government corporation, audit would be done as per their relevant statute. What is statute? Law. Their own acts. Air India has their own act, LIC has their own act, UTI has their own act. So whatever the audit is to be conducted, the scope, the period, everything is written in their respective law. Third is your government department. It will be done by CAG only as per bylaws. You know what is bylaws? Bylaws? Laws, respective laws basically. So for example, income tax department has their own respective laws. So they will be done as per income tax laws. Okay, bylaws is a word in law we call as rules, regulations. Now, when you talk about yes, obviously. This report has to be submitted to the parliament. Now, when we talk about audit of government and audit of government company, can someone tell me the difference between audit of government and government company? Please explain it. Please raise your hand and answer. What is the difference if I say audit of government and audit of government company? Hold on. Balcony boys, anyone? Even if it is wrong, try. Yes, sir. 1 second. Huh? Sorry? Government as a whole. Can you give example? Whose audit we are doing it here? I mean, which government? BJP? Congress? In India, how many government are there? There is only 2 government in India. There is only 2 government in India. Central and state government. I am the teacher of the class. I know I have studied in the morning. Let me also answer. Local body is a part of state government. Local body, all the rules, regulations of local body is applicable as per state government rules only. So when we study, we say there are only 2 kinds of government. One is central government, other one is state government. In India, how many state government is there? How many state government is there? Sir, many. Almost every state has a government. Right? Every state has a government. Sometimes they combine the government also in smaller states. Like for Eastern India, they combine it. Okay? In India, how many central government is there? Huh? One. BJP. We say central government, the Delhi government. It's only one government. Okay? Now, government company ka answer we just did. Government company ka answer. The first order, subsequent order, supplementary audit, test audit. Now we're talking about audit of government. Like the Sarkar. The Bharat is not there. The Bharat Sarkar, the Indian government. So who will conduct the audit of government? Auditor will conduct. Wow, you're smart. Sir, who has the power? CHE. I don't have it. Thank you for the love, but I don't have the power. It is basically CHE, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Now, what will the CAG do? CAG will check 3 things. He will check receipts, then expenditure, and then he will check stores and stocks. So sir, he will check. Let me teach, please. Please. Audit of receipts, audit of expenditure, audit of stores and stock. Guys, when I talk about receipts, does the government get receipts? Yes. How? Tax. Which tax? So all. All means sub. Sub means all. Sir, so many tax we pay in India. Water tax, house tax, property tax, municipal tax, toll tax, income tax, GST, what? Excise, custom. So many tax we pay, sir. So many tax. Plus we pay fine also, plus we pay interest also. Government makes some investment on our money, they earn interest, that is also receipt. So what does the CAG do? So the CAG will check all the receipts are realized, assessed, and credited. The receipts are realized, assets and credited to consolidated funds of India. So it's an account basically in RBI in Delhi. All the receipts are credited to consolidated funds of India. Who has to check this? Sir, CAG has to check this. Who has to check this? CAG has to check. So whether the receipts are realized, assessed, credited to consolidated funds of India. Sir, when you talk about expenditure, there are 5 components. Sir, first is rules and orders. Number 2, sanctions. Number 3, provision of funds for propriety audit. 5th, performance audit. So this is propriety audit, this is performance audit. Out of which these 3, this one, propriety, is very important. Let's understand first. Sir, rules and orders, sanctions, provision of funds, propriety and performance. So there are 5 components. Number 1, rules and orders. Number 2, sanctions. Number 3, provision of funds. Number 4, propriety. Number 5th, performance audit. Number 5th is your performance audit. So these are headings, very, very, very important. Very repetitive. Sir, what is rules and orders? Now when we are talking about expenses, does the government do any expenses? Yes, sir. Where? Huh? Infrastructure, bridges, roads, highways, infrastructure, metro projects, welfare programs like what? Education, health, midday meal programs, vaccination. Vaccination, right? So now those are expenses done by the government. Now tell me, whenever there's an expense, it has to be approved by an authority. So now, for example, every year government of India, the central government or the Indian government will be spending 20% towards infrastructure. You know, our Akka, Nirmala Akka, Chichi, Chechi. What does Chechi means? Akka, oh, Chechi. In Malayalam, oh, Chechi, Chechi. Okay, Nirmala Chechi. She says 2,500 crore rupees will be spent on infrastructure in Chennai. I did not say, Nirmala says. Now, obviously it will require approval of the cabinet, right? There would be certain rules in the constitution. So the auditor, whenever there are expenses done by the government, you have to check that particular rule and order. You have to check that rule and order. For example, it is written in constitution, or maybe they must have decided, please go and check that rule and order a copy. Number 2, for example, in Chennai, we'll be having metro constructed, underwater metro constructed. No, not underground metro. Now, so obviously it will require approval of the local municipality, right? Local commissioners, local fire safety department. So if there's an expenses done, it will require a lot of approvals. Order you go and check the sanction letters. So the order check the sanction approval of all the departments concerned with that expenses. Third, provision of funds. Now, for example, 2,500 crore rupees to be spent in a year. So directly you can't spend it. So every year they would be doing provisions. So auditor, please check the amount of the expenses is matching with the provisions or not. So you check the provision of funds. Very, very, very important. It's not proprietor. It is propriety. It is propriety. Now, what does this propriety means? Anyone? If the audit is proper, so we'll write proper audit. Why propriety? I'll give you example. Yes, sir, you want to say something? Sector-wise audit? No, that's wrong. Now listen. For example, you guys got 70 marks in audit. One single attempt, one single student. No combined together. No? Taj, yeah, Taj. So we go to Chennai Taj. Okay? Either a lunch or a dinner from my side. Both. You know who was Bakasur? Bakasur, have you heard the word Bakasur? Bakasur? No. So Bakasur was a demon who used to eat food every time. You behave like Bakasur. Now listen. Shh. So either a lunch or dinner from my side. But because the first batch at Chennai has got very good result, so I booked the tempo. Are so many luggage will be there. So I will take you luggage. Assets. Oh. So I'll be taking you to Taj. Okay, so the tempo is booked, you guys are coming to Taj. Okay. So food is inside. I'm standing at the gate. No, sorry. I'm standing at the gate. You guys are entering. Out of my love and affection, to each student I am giving 2,000 rupees to everyone. Food is there, food you will get it inside. But plus, out of my love and affection, I am giving you 2,000 rupees. Okay. Now, Anjana, you got 2,000 rupees. Free. You know what is Fokat? It's free. What will you do of that 2,000 rupees? Let her answer. For free you are getting it, Anjana. What will you do? Sorry? What is she saying? Of 2,000 for free you have got, what will you do? Food is there. I am giving food. But still she'll buy. Okay, Vishwa bhai, you have got 2,000 rupees for free. Chai for the gang. For the next month, no. Week. Shh. Hotel. I'm coming to you. If you have got 2,000 rupees for free, so Vishwa is saying that he will buy the chai, Gold Flake, Marlboro. For you, what will you do of 2,000? Oyo. Investment in real estate. In share market, okay. Balaji, 2,000 rupees. What will you do? Customer? Okay, what will you do of 2,000? Yeah. She says, buying something from me, for me. I feel like beggar. Thank you. Please give me, I need one cloth and one cap and one BMW. Okay. Vaibhav, if you've got 2,000 rupees, what will you do? You will buy nice clothes. Okay. Madam? Yeah, you. Oh. Touchy. Okay, madam. Yeah. Yes. Next day she'll go to another hotel. Okay. Future plans. With? It's a question. The nation wants to know with whom you will go. I didn't say Vishwa Bhai. I didn't say. No. See, when I gave 2,000, okay, keep the example as it is. We do another example. Now, that example is on hold, okay? You guys are my article. Monday to Sunday, every day you have worked for me in the month of September. So if you know that September month is very crucial for chartered accountants because audit has to be completed by 30th September. Okay? No. Now, what happened? Out of, your stipend, on the 2nd October, dry day, I gave you your stipend, 2,000 rupees. It's your hard-earned money, 2,000 rupees. Now, Anjana, it's your hard-earned money. What will you do of 2,000 rupees? You'll shave it. Okay, save. Okay, Vishwa Bhai. Chai. He will have to do chai. Okay, what will you do? Buy some books. Okay. What will you do of 2,000? Save. What will you do above? Again you'll buy. And madam, yes, what will you do of 2,000? Again you will go eat. Hungry India, poor India. See, what was the difference in the first 2,000 and the second 2,000? First 2,000 was completely free. So the way you wanted, you spent the hard-earned money of someone else. That was my hard-earned money. You spent it. But when it was your hard-earned money, you were very cautious. Every penny of it, you will be thinking and spending it. This is called as propriety principle. This is called as propriety audit. It is called as principles of prudence. Principles of prudence. So the CAG says to the government officials, "Hey minister, please spend the money thinking that as if it is your own money." When you think like this, you will spend it very cautiously. But what happens in our country, they think it more it is their own. So this is called as, see, whatever I'm teaching, I'm teaching it only from the book. Practically life is very different. Okay. So this is called as principles of prudence. You have to use the money as if it is your own money because the money is of public. But treat it like your own money so that you'll be very cautious when you're spending it. So this is called as principles of prudence. Number 2 principle, it says if I am abusing my authority, the government official should not abuse the authority. What is not abuse the authority? Misusing a power. Okay. For example, I am a minister. I will not pay the toll tax. Okay, I will not pay any bill. So I'm misusing my power. It should be allowed or not allowed. So this is second principles of prudence. Third, if for example, if I'm spending money on Gujaratis, I'm not spending on Maharashtrians. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. You can't do sarcasm. You can't bifurcate the expenses as per religions. Okay. If I'm spending on kids, not spending on adult, allowed or not allowed? Allowed, not allowed? Allowed. There are so many schemes for kids. It's allowed. Boys, you need to answer. If there is a scheme for women but not for men, allowed, not allowed? Huh? Allowed, not allowed? Allowed. If you have a problem, change the gender. It is allowed. So you can't bifurcate as per caste, creed, religion. So there are 3 principles of prudence. One more is there. It says the government officials should not have any other avenue for remuneration. For money except their remuneration. Whatever I am teaching it from the book. They should not have any other avenue for earning money except their remuneration. That means In simple words, they should not accept bribe. It is written in the book. Practical life, you know it. Remuneration is nominal for them. Whatever they earn bribe. So do you know how income tax department works? How? Someone said yes. No, not Vishwa, someone else was there. Who said yes? It's okay, even if it is wrong. Who said yes? Yes, sir. Only by giving money. So they don't, see, today in India, the system has got changed. It has become faceless. Faceless means everything has come into online. So some departments are still physically running. So if there's a scrutiny, you know what is scrutiny? Whatever tax you have paid and government is not accepting it, they have given you a notice. Okay, boss, your income is different and you have paid different taxes. So let's discuss. So previously, chartered accountants used to go to income tax department, meet the income tax officers, and they used to bargain. Because whatever will happen only on the basis of money. But now everything, because of Chechi, everything has become faceless. Now faceless means you will never know who's the officer on the opposite side. So the assessee, you know who's assessing? The person who pays the tax. Okay, so if I will not take my example. So if there's an assessee who has not paid tax, so he will get a notice from a department. In India, any income tax authority, from Delhi authority or Calcutta authority or Chandigarh authority or Chennai authority can mail it. So you will not know the name of the officer, so you can't do settings. So previously, some department has physical officers also. So they never say the amount they need it. What they do is, they take the calci and write the figure on the calci. So I'm just explaining what happens in the practical life. It has nothing to do with the exam, it's your practical life. So they put the calci in front of the person. Now, the officer, any department, when you talk about GST, customs, excise, any department, they will not show the figure in front of the assessee. They will tell the figure only to the chartered accountant. So if assessee is also coming with the CA, he will ask the chartered accountant to please take this assessee outside the room. So the assessee has to stand out, CA would be inside, he will show the figure. So for example, on calci, 5 lakh is written. The chartered accountant will go out and say, sir, 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs he is asking. Now they will bargain to close to 9, close to 8 lakhs. Now when the money is coming, when they're bringing the money, 8 lakhs have received, right? The 3, 4 lakh, what is the buffer? It is of the chartered accountant. 5 lakhs is of the department. Now if assessee is also coming with a CA, again he will not be allowed. He will not be allowed. So the person has to stand out. Only the chartered accountant, he will go in. Generally, if the amount is small, for example, 50,000, 30,000, 20,000, what happens is, you can take it in the pocket. Okay? So what will he do? He will open his drawer. You know what's the drawer? He will open the drawer, you put that money in that. The other way is, when you're giving the file, you put it in the file. Number 3 is, you bring the mithai ka box, sweet box. Or else what happens is, they have the tie-ups. The officer will call you after 6:30. Sir, opposite the department there's a restaurant. At the restaurant you will find Mr. Shetty. Give the packet to him. So you go and give the packet to Shetty. Shetty will say, thank you. So or generally if the amount is also small, if now because of the surveillance, no one takes the money in the department, no one. So what happens is, there's always a chai wala there, opposite to the department. So you give the money to the chai wala. All officers have setting. I am teaching you what is, everything is getting recorded. No one will troll me here and there. Huh? It happens in practical life. Okay? That's, you also must have heard this, right? Sorry? Like? Yeah, it's not nowadays. It's been long. I gave to one officer hoverboard. You know what is hoverboard? What do you call it? Swagway. Are you stand and that thing move, right? One second. So there was one case which I was supposed to handle. So he said, for my child, I need hoverboard. This is a spec bay. No, in walls you can use it. In your compound you can use it, right? This is Segway. Shh. It came at that time. It was launched in India. I'm talking about 2014 or 15. It came for I think 35 at that time. 35,000. At that time. Right now it's coming around 10 or 15. But when it was launched, it was around 35. He said, for my child I want it. So the thing was, you are not supposed to deliver in the department. Neither to his house. He gave some different address. You please deliver this parcel here. So they don't say it's a gift or it's a goose or it's a bribe. Parcel. Parcel. If you're giving money also, no, sir, parcel will be of 5 rupee. When we say 5 rupee, 5 lakhs. So all these are code words. So it will be helpful when you practice or when you start your life in future. Okay. So this is proprietary audit. Understood what is proprietary audit? Last one. Shh. Alright, 2 minutes. Last concept will get over. Performance audit. Shh. Performance audit. Government is doing lot of performance. Where the government is doing performance? Lot of schemes are there. Midday meal programs, where the dal is different, alag, and the pani is, the water is different. No, dal is dal and pani is water. If you anyone ever had or seen the midday meals? You have seen or eaten? Oh, she's the staff. Okay, great. You have seen it. So is it very good? You can't eat it. Normal people can't eat it. So government, still people eat it, we know it, but the performance of the government today, for example in Mumbai, they were supposed to bring metro in 2014, it came in 2016. Okay, now again the phase 2 metro work is going on. Everywhere it's a metro construction going on. So in case if you have to travel like 15 kilometers, it takes approximately 1.5 hours, one side. So traveling is very struggling there. It's very huge struggle. So the performance of the government is good or bad? Good or bad? Everything is getting recorded. Modi ji, these people. So it's so performance audit, government organizes various schemes like vaccination program. If you know, there was a fund called as PM Cares. Almost every Indian has contributed to some extent, maybe 10 rupee, 100 rupee. Big people have contributed like crores of rupee. Now for PM Care, you can't audit that fund. No, it's when the fund was constituted, it clearly mentioned that no one can audit this fund. Now whatever money has gone in this fund, where it is that money? Khatam. Chai. So the performance of the government is good or bad? So who audits all this? CAG. So when the CAG is auditing, CAG, the expenses, he has to check 5 components. What's the first one? Rules and orders, sanctions, provision of funds, propriety and performance. Cool? So we'll stop here and then we'll continue. I'll explain you. Bye.